Difference of opinion. Noted. All right. Digital code cannot come into existence by chance. You say it's not chance. I'm saying, what else is it? It's chance. Molecules bumping into each other. What else has got it? The secret hand of evolution, I guess. Based on the science of probability statistics, the chances that the digital information needed for the simplest form of life happening by chance is nil. Again, difference of opinion noted that you say it's just not chance. I'm still trying to figure out what else it is. All right. We can bring that up in discussion. There you go. Okay, after life started, and I'm giving it now that life started somehow, whether by God or by biogenesis. Beneficial mutations that add functional information had to have occurred in the genetics of life. Again, E. coli has 4 million base pairs. We have 3.5 billion. In the history of the study of genetics, it has never been observed that beneficial mutations that add genetic information to the genetic structure of the DNA has never been observed. There have been beneficial mutations, meaning a mutation to an organism that makes it survive better, such as bacteria resistance to penicillin or something like that, to antibiotics. It happens, it's been observed. But it's loss of information. The DNA becomes less functional. It just loses the fact that it's allergic to, or it gets killed by antibiotic. I mean, I can't get into the genetics and how it actually works because I'm not a geneticist, but that's true. All mutations that have benefited organisms resulted in net loss of digital information in genes. That's what I was referring to. Next, given that life started somehow, and that beneficial mutations that provide an increase in genetic information happened, which I'm saying both of those things didn't happen, but if they did, the natural selection acts as a preservative to preserve the genetic information. The animals survive by a process of survival of the fittest. Okay, that's the evolutionary theory. It's not that simple, granted, but it's the basics. All right, that's the physical requirements. Now, what are the psychological ramifications? And I'm using terms that are P&R, see, I'm like a preacher. 3 points on a poem. So psychological ramifications are A, natural processes. Now let me make sure you understand. I'm making this presentation coming from my viewpoint. I would admit that. I'm not trying to hide that I have a viewpoint on this. But natural processes replace God. Before evolution was written about and studied and believed, most people believed in a God. Sometimes many gods, like the Romans and the Greek. But natural processes. Now, what are those natural processes? Anybody want to name a natural process? If I had candy, I'd throw you some candy if you'd answer the question. A natural process. Well, gravity. Okay? It's a scientific law. Thermodynamics. Scientific law. I don't have any scientific laws, there's a bunch. You have the 4 forces of nature. You got gravity, you got electromagnetic force, you got the strong nuclear force and the weak nuclear force. All of them are a certain value. Okay? Natural processes. That's part of the evolutionary theory, that everything happens naturally without any guiding hand. Now that's the evolutionary theory that does not include God. That's called, might help me, what is it? When you believe in God started it, you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Theistic evolution.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people believe that. Christians believe that. Some of them.
Oh, theistic evolution.
Okay. But natural processes, another point that science has no answer to. They are there. They've been measured very carefully. They know how it works. They know that relativity is true. They know that gravity is true. They know that's there. They've measured it. They figured it out. They got formulas for it, but they don't know why it's what it is. And if it wasn't what it is, we wouldn't be here. So it's natural, all right, it came from somewhere, but there's no basis for it. So that replaces God or any kind of helping hand. Second, no foundational basis for morality. Now, you can argue all you want, oh, I'm moral, and you know what? I believe you. I believe that you can be an atheist, never believe in God, and be a very moral person, because I know several of them. And as a matter of fact, I would say the difference between someone who, say, professes Christianity or Judaism or some other religion that does good, and the atheists that I know, I see no difference in their morality. Okay? But there's no basis for it in the belief of no God, or no supreme being, or no somebody who makes the rules, or whatever you want to call it. There's no real foundational basis. Hope is replaced with futility. Now, I've heard people say, well, I wake up with hope every morning. That, you know, hope I'm going to wake up, hope I'm going to have some good food that day and do fun things and stuff like that. Well, you know, I understand. That's hope. I'm talking about hope, eternal hope. It's not there. Order is replaced with chaos. Now, you might think that that's a crazy statement, but I will make my hypothesis and say, without some, what are my words I'm trying to say? Some restraints on me, I would be in chaos. But what I mean by that? If I didn't have a faith that taught me how to live, then I would live differently. If nobody ever taught me. I don't matter whether I believe in it or not. If you've been taught it by your parents, your grandparents, somebody taught you what's good and what's wrong, what's good and evil. You learned it by some means. That's a restraint in your life. And the other restraints are law. If there was no law, we'd have chaos. My point is, order is replaced with chaos if environmental theory is true. Yes, Tom?
Just a brief comment. You know what I believe. I believe in God. But even without a God, I think the fear of consequences would support morality and support...
You mean if the fear of consequences, meaning if you killed somebody, somebody would get mad and kill you?
Right. If they
Okay.
took your wife...
You're taking law out of
If
it
you don't want
too,
to take
right?
their wife, they don't take your wife. If you don't want them to take your
That's
wife.
called survival of the fittest.
Okay, but that's still, that's a fear that would create morality and create order in a society that would tear down the bounds.
Possible. Possible.
I think it's a
Okay. You think Hitler had any fear of anybody taking him out?
Yeah.
He did. He thought I mean, he might have been toward the end, but he thought he was bulletproof. All right. Let's move on. We'll get to look at each one of these. Here we go. All right. Evolutionary